Welcome back to another video. I hope you all are doing great. So today, as you can see from the title, I have the newest release by Versace Man Eau Fraiche Extreme, and I bought this directly from Versace themselves here in the UK for £145 British for the largest bottle, which is the 200ml. So the fragrance itself comes wrapped in this Versace paper as well as that sticker. I'll be removing this to show you what the fragrance actually looks like on the inside. Here you can see what the packaging looks like. It's a deeper, darker blue version of the original Versace Eau Fraiche. At the back we've got some ingredients. You can pause the screen if you want to read this. At the top there's just some information, and at the bottom that's just the batch code over here. So without wasting more time, I'm going to open the packaging and show you what the bottle looks like inside. So here you can see what the bottle looks like. As you can imagine, it's very much identical to the original Versace Eau Fraiche. It's obviously slightly darker in the color, and I'm going to waste a few sprays for you and show you what the atomizer looks like. It's a very nice misty spray, and it just clips back on like this. So looking on Fragrantica, we can see the main accords are aromatic, musky, citrus and white floral. And if you take a look at the note breakdown, the top notes, we've got orange blossom, lemon and pink pepper. Middle notes, there is Clary sage, lavender and Bourbon geranium. And the base notes, there is Ambroxan, Musk and Virginian cedar. So after wearing this fragrance for a full day on my skin and clothes, the first impressions I get from this fragrance is that it starts off with a very vibrant aromatic white floral note, specifically the orange blossom. And I can see why people would compare this fragrance to YSL Myself. Because of that orange blossom note in the opening, it resembles about, I would say, 70% similar to YSL Myself. And that only tends to last for about 30 minutes to an hour before the lavender and the musk and the geranium starts to kick in. And to put it frankly, it is a very pleasant scent, but the opening might seem a little bit feminine to some people, especially being a white floral note fragrance. So I highly recommend you to try this first, because the opening for this fragrance can be a little bit subjective for most people. And the key notes for this fragrance would be the orange blossom, like I mentioned before, the lavender as well as the musk. So these are the three notes that you would pick up throughout this fragrance journey. So if you're not too keen on white floral notes, specifically the orange blossom or even lavender fragrances, then I highly recommend you to at least try this fragrance first on your skin and clothes before committing to a full bottle. And going to the mid of this fragrance, like I mentioned before, it's just the lavender and the geranium as well as the orange blossom being very prominent in the mid. And after about 2 to maybe 4 hours, it starts to get a little bit musky and woody, combined with the orange blossom note. So overall, this fragrance is not what I expect it to be compared to the original Versace Man. As you can see, the fragrance note here, the iconic Versace Eau Fraiche has much more of a citrus opening and a much more summer vibe to this fragrance. And to compare the performance of the original Versace Man Eau Fraiche as well as the new Eau Fraiche Extreme, I would say that the Extreme lasts a little bit longer, not significantly but just slightly longer. I get maybe about 8 to 10 hours of longevity before it turns to a very faint skin scent, and projects for about 6 feet radius for about 30 minutes or so before it turns to a skin scent after. So overall, it's an improvement in terms of performance, but scent wise it's not really the most creative. If I were to describe this new fragrance, I would say Eau Fraiche Extreme is just a combination between the original Versace Man Eau Fraiche combined with the YSL Myself, and you would get this fragrance. So for that reason, I would give this one a solid 7 out of 10. It's not because it's a bad fragrance, it's just that it's not a fragrance I anticipate it to be. And who knows, maybe in a few months or a few years, Versace might release an elixir version of the Versace Man Eau Fraiche fragrance line. So that is my quick and honest review on this new fragrance from Versace. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below if you've tried this before. And as usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.